take some nice deep breaths in. And we're just going to start to come into center with each other. And as you begin to take these nice deep breaths in, find yourself just gently, calmly, with so much love, coming into a connection with you, with your higher self. Maybe move your body a little bit, whatever your body needs in order to be comfortable. And if you choose, there's going to be some visualizations on the screen, but if you don't choose, by all means, just close your eyes, relax, and let yourself be guided on this journey. And as you let the rhythm of breath begin to move through you, feel that nudge from within that gives you that reminder of knowing that that breath is alive. It is conscious. It's not just air, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. It's not just a bunch of chemicals that you're breathing, but you are breathing in consciousness. You are breathing in the Holy Spirit. You are breathing in the cosmic breath. And the truth is that we breathe whether or not we are conscious of it. So in many ways, the Holy Spirit is breathing us. In many ways, the breath is breathing through us. And that when our consciousness gets out of the way, the breath does what it naturally is designed to do, and that is to move through all the sacred chambers of your inner temple. The breath naturally wants to move up your central column. It naturally wants to push through all of the wheels of your chakras to increase the speed. It naturally wants to move into that alchemical center of your pineal gland. There's really nothing you need to do other than to allow the Holy Spirit to flow through you in just the way it's intending to do. And as you let the breath move through you, feel it like an elixir of light and a sacred serpent, a golden serpent, that as you breathe it up, it moves through the sacred third eye, and as it spins back down, that golden strand of light moves out the tip of your tailbone and all the way down into the crystalline core of the earth. There it coils in the heart of Mother, becomes one with Mother. Feel yourself merging within this sacred space. And as you let yourself begin to be purified by this energy, that we are aligning to the intention of Christ consciousness. And as you allow that intention to begin to pour up, fill up your cup, fill it up from underneath you, pull it through all the layers of the earth. That for one moment in this very breath, as you breathe that eternal love and that eternal consciousness up, that you are amplifying that frequency upon the planet. And in this moment, whatever sounds or sorrows or pains or realizations that you have become aware of that might be happening on the surface of the earth right now, maybe places on the planet where there is suffering, where there are hearts that are hurting, where there is loss, we are amplifying this frequency of the core of Mother. And as you bring that breath up, Send the prayer out for all sentient beings upon the earth to receive the breath of Mother within their heart. Send that prayer out like a ripple that all sentient beings may be connected now to their higher selves, and that their higher selves be of the greatest assistance to allow them to begin to be aware of, take in, and receive that sacred breath. The more and more we hold the compassion in our heart for the liberation of suffering of all sentient beings, the more we are truly saying the prayer for Earth Mother, that we are choosing for her to be in wholeness, in balance, in serenity, in love, in alignment again. And as you breathe that breath up, feel that sacred serpent beginning to move up your spine like a golden light. It floods through you. And as it pushes through, this time consciously be aware that as it moves through the root chakra, it's like it turns on the light. Amplifying now, radiate now, purify now, clarify now. Let your heart intend that it get turned on to the greatest luminosity of the fullest radiance of the light flowing through you. Bring it up through your second chakra, and it moves to the front of you and behind you, and feel it like two massive floodlights, flashlights just open up in the front of you and behind you. And that light just purifies like a detoxification your second chakra, and just turn it on and let the divine essence of Mother take care of everything else. This is truly our mantra to live by. Let love do all the work. Really what that means is that we are finally trusting enough to really allow ourselves to be taken care of, to be supported, to be nurtured, that we deserve love, that we deserve happiness, that we deserve to be supported. Bring it on up to the third chakra, and again, the moment that it gets there, it's like boom, it just turns on the light. The front and the back just radiate out, and all of a sudden, all of the core energy within your third chakra, your solar plexus, becomes illuminated, and anything that does not belong to you or hold your highest venerated energy is just dissolved and dissipated within the light. Truly, the offering of our divine guardians is to imagine that any miasmas, that any bindings, that any energies that do not serve you in the highest level, imagine them to be like shadows. And there's nothing you have to do other than turn on the light. And the moment that the light turns on, they just disappear. Take it all the way up past the seal between your third and fourth chakra, and just feel that seal opening up as you move into your fourth chakra. And again, just turn on the lights and feel this emerald light moving from the front to the back. And it's just this massive awakening through your chest. And you realize in this moment that you just had an awareness that your body is so much bigger than the physical form that you hold on earth. And as you pull it on up, bring it on up to the throat chakra, the fifth chakra, and bring it up into the sacred space. And again, it's the moment you turn on the lights, there's no thinking. It's like massive lighthouse lights that just radiate this beautiful sapphire blue light out of your throat. And it's such an immense energy that you feel yourself immediately pulled into the fifth dimensional level of consciousness, which is no mind, no thoughts, just pure awareness. Be here now. And you pull that energy up into your pineal gland, and it feels like home. It feels like the feeling that you've known to be your truth your whole life, and now you have the permission to be it, and you feel yourself just activating, lights on in the pineal gland, front and back, as that blast of light begins to emanate a beautiful violet flame. And it's the moment you realize you are not even in your body, but your body is inside of you. And as you push out through the crown, let yourself keep going and feel that light just continue to move on until you hit the core heart of the universe. And as you attune to the core and the heart of the universe, there you find yourself within the celestial realms and within the heart of the all. And it shows up for us in different ways at different times, whatever it is that we need. Sometimes we will feel it as the pure void, blackness, darkness, this pure void of no thing, the womb of all that is. And there's other times you might feel it as just the purest field of celestial light. Let yourself just be in that space as your heart is needing it to be right now. And I invite you to find you. Attune to the consciousness behind your thoughts, behind your emotions, even behind your dreams. Find the you that is thinking you. And create an eternal handshake with that energy signature that you are, and begin to weave that back. And there's no distance you need to travel. You just need to intend that that is locked into your heart. And as the true you emanate from this emerald heart. And in your emerald heart, start to notice what's in this temple. How has the ego personality been taking care of it? It's like you've come home from a very long journey and you've left this temple in the care of your identity self. How did you do? Is it tidy? Is it clean? Or is it filtered or clogged with other things? Just be aware there is no judgment in this moment, but this awareness is what we are going to take to the temples. And as we began to take our journey, I invite each and every one of you to find your way in your consciousness to the area and the grid point of the earth around the Hawaiian Islands, the remnants that push up from our Lemurian timelines upon the earth. And I'm going to invite you to walk out on one of the beaches. And as you're there on one of the beaches, you're going to keep walking. But you are fully fortified within your 12th dimensional shield. It is like your own atmosphere or orb. It's your own submarine that's going to take you down, down, down. And begin walking. And you're going to find yourself walking into the waters until the waters completely cover your head. But you are safe and you are protected. You are fully in your own atmosphere where it's easy to breathe, easy to move, no effort. And you're going to move out quite a ways and begin to walk out so that you're quite a distance away from the islands. The commotion and the energy of the people in the islands is like a distant energy behind you. And all of a sudden you feel yourself overwhelmed with this immense pressure and presence of the vast void of the ocean around you. You may be aware of some of the sea life around you, and as you become aware of them, you realize you are now being surrounded by a very special pod of dolphins. And these dolphins are very familiar to you. You may not completely understand why, but there they are, and there's something that feels so light, so comfortable within your heart. And they offer you to follow them. And you find yourself swimming with the greatest of ease as you begin to move down, down, down into the depths. And they take you so far down that it feels like there's nothing there. But all of a sudden you can feel the sensation that you've just pierced a veil. And you know in your heart you've just moved into another dimension. You can feel the vibration of love that transcends the material realm. And all of a sudden the darkness begins to light up with the most incredible light, and you start to feel yourself within this incredible realm. Temples, crystalline temples, coral temples, oceanic temples all around you. And swimming through them and moving through them is sea life, the most colorful, most beautiful fish and sea life that you've ever seen. There's mer people, and there's even people walking around. That it's almost this realm that any atmosphere that you need, it's perfect just for you. It seems as though the dolphins and the whales are swimming right through the sky all around you. And as you stand there at the entrance, take a moment, calm your heart and your breath. And I'm going to invite you in this moment to let yourself receive being welcomed by two of the temple guides that are there just for you. And you realize everyone has their own two guides that are coming to greet them. And take a moment to just notice these two beings that are right there with you. And they are welcoming you with so much love. The kindness in their heart helps you to realize a soft place within your own heart of how loved you are, how important you are, how special you are. Within their eyes, they show you their empathy for all the suffering that you have been through. And as they begin to gently move around you, they invite you to begin to follow them as we take our journey to the first Lemurian temple. And as we make our way there, this pathway that they take us on is so magnificent. The colors, the sparkles, the lights. But most importantly, it's the consciousness, the frequency vibrations of this place that make your heart yearn for this again. It's an ache so deep, a home that you remember, a way of life that you remember. And they are inviting you to open up that ache within your heart in order to let the love come in. And as we make our way to the first temple, we make our way to the temple of the Divine Mother. This temple is immaculate. It is beautiful. It is one of the most radiant temples that you get close to it, and there's a sense of just immense love welcoming you, almost as though you can't wait to run and be in her arms. And as you begin to enter into this temple, there is the most beautiful emerald waterfall in the middle. It's a fountain, this crystalline emerald light that is pouring out from the center of this temple. And your guides are leading you to be fully and completely bathed by this fountain. They gently take you and stand you right in the middle of it. This emerald fountain of mother's love is a fountain that is emerging from the heart, the emerald heart of mother. It is the pure essence that is pouring out of her heart. And as you stand within it, you can begin to sense how happy she is that she gets to share this very light with you. This is the temple of restoration, nurturing, love, eternal soothing. This is the place where we can come to be completely spiritually free. This is the place where we can come and fall in love again with our divinity. So as you find yourself feeling this soft, flowing energy from the heart of mother flowing around you, the invitation is to open up your own heart chakra. And as you stand within it, you may become aware that the energy might want to come up from the soles of your feet. It might want to move up your root chakra. It might want to pour through all of your chakra column. You will feel it almost like a tingling sensation around the outer edges of your skin because your etheric body is so nurtured by this energy. This is the energy that your etheric body thrives off of. And as you begin to breathe this breath into you, it begins to fill you up. You become aware as it begins to move all the way up, filling all the way through you, past your heart chakra, into your throat chakra, into your pineal gland, into your 7th chakra, and it pours out of your crown like a waterfall and just keeps cycling all around you. You become aware that there's a sound within this temple. It's a music. A beautiful sound, like the music of crystal bowls and crystal waters, like a lullaby to your spirit. And in this moment, open yourself to every place that you have ever felt vulnerable, every place that you have felt bound by your spirituality, every place that you have not felt mirrored, seen, respected, every place that you felt your words were misrepresented. Find all of the places that have been seeking love inside of you. The wounded child inside that has been crying for love, seeking love, yearning for love, yearning to be held, yearning to be remembered. This is the place that we have the permission to let down all of our walls. All of the places that we've had to be the adult when we weren't able to be the child. In this moment, this is the place where it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be held. loved. As your heart begins to fill up, notice that your frequency is rising. Take all of the time that you need to let this nurturing energy come through. This is the places where we can heal now anything that has ever felt judged, not good enough, insignificant, too small. And the more that you begin to flood this energy from the Divine Mother, all of those limiting beliefs just wash away. And you get this realization that she loves you because you are of her. You are perfect. You are divine. You are her child. You are honored. You are loved. You are special. You are important. You are already whole and perfect. And in this moment, this is the place to really heal all wounds that we've ever had with our own mother, with our grandmother, with our great-grandmothers, with our great-great-grandmothers, with our great-great-great-grandmothers. Let the lineage of the Divine Mothers continue on. This is where we can now let that love flow to all divine feminine ancestral lineages, to that divine womb of mother, and the ache that the mother has held for millennia upon this planet. This is the place where we can begin to flood our first and second chakras. All of those primal needs of survival began to just wash away because we realize we have been taken care of. We are loved, we are safe, and we are home. Truly take a moment to really notice your nervous system, your limbic system, and any places it's been heightened, overreactive, or defensive. And let that love flow through and allow it to stand down now. The worst is over and I am safe. Take another moment to just reach your heart out to Mother. And if there was something that you wanted to say to her, what would it be that you would want to tell her from your heart? And before we begin to leave this temple, listen to the whisper in the music and in the sounds. And what is the most important thing that you need to know about you right now? And with so much love, you will find that there is an emerald spark in your heart now. And that fountain of Mother is now an eternal fountain that is right inside of your heart. And with a smile and a warmth, you notice that your guides are smiling at you, noticing how much softer you look, how much softer you feel. And they nudge for you to follow them as they now exit you out of this temple. And they have the ability to read all of the things that you have been through. And they sense deep places of hurt and wounds that you have held through sharing your sacred energy with others in this lifetime. And so as they lead you away from the Emerald Temple, they take you now to the Temple of the Moon. This place is magnificent. It is the most incredible blues and silvers, an aquatic feel to it, but yet you realize that this liquid light is shining to you from this immense radiance of the moon right above your head. And they take you right into the core of the temple, and in the middle of this temple is a massive opening that leads right to the luminosity. It's almost as though the moon is practically touching your 7th chakra. And in fact, it's dancing with your 8th chakra, your soul star, right above your head. This place is shining brightly over you. It is blessing you. And this moon is beginning to share a message with you. It is saying that all of the burdens of regrets, all of the places that you have held miasma or karmic debt within your subconscious, all of the places that you've let the memories of the past keep you burdened or held down, that this is the place where you are being offered the freedom to be washed away from all of these. The moon comes to you now in her purest form. In her purest form, when she was once tended to, loved, and supported by the Pleiadian priestesses, as one of her venerated vehicles, as one of the Pleiadians' beautiful starships that emanated the most advanced frequencies throughout the cosmos. The moon shines to you now from her original template that reminds you on the deepest subconscious levels of who you truly are as a radiant soul. And as it begins to shine, you find all of these energies beginning to highlight within your body. And as you allow yourself to become aware of different places that trapped energy has been locked into your physical form, we are getting the opportunity to embrace the greater gift of our eternal nature. There are histories in the past where the divine feminine has been bound to the moon, and the moon was also chained. The moon was also imprisoned. The moon was also utilized as a way to imprison the divine feminine upon the earth. So inasmuch as the divine feminine has gone through many cycles of tyranny and suffering, so has the moon. And in times past, in Lemurian history, there were times when the women were taken and utilized for their sacred energies, utilized to create hybridized races, utilized as womb chambers to give birth to many new races. And as this pain and trauma occurred within our histories, it created vibrations of energy where we began to dislike our body, hate our body. Places where we suppressed or repressed hatred. Hatred for our physical form, hatred for feeling bound, not allowed to do what we want to do. These are the moments and times when we felt helpless for our own offspring. These are going to be regrets that we have held for wishing that we could have done things differently. Many times even feeling in many life cycles as though we were not given the right to having our children in the most sacred way. And in many life cycles, this has occurred because we were not conscious enough because of a lot of the seals and programmings. And by the time we already realized that there was so much that we wish could have been different. So become aware of all of the places where one might wish something could have been different, or where there might have been a replay within the mind. This is also going to be the places where we have shut down our sexual energy, and for those who have chosen not to have children, or feeling as though it's not safe to have children. This is also going to be energies in our sacred womb center where we want to have children, but we feel as though something is blocking us. It is repressing our fertility, our reproductive energies, or our ability to be a parent, a mother in this life. In every place that our sexual energy has felt as though it has not been free to be at the elevated levels to which we know in our heart it has the intentions and the right to be. Because the sacred union upon this planet is so unavailable for so many. So begin to find any places within your womb, within your reproductive organs, within your hormones. Be mindful of any places within your body that may have surgically been removed, and recognize that as well as a place that has suffered through some of these tyrannies and the remembrances of these times past. These are energies embedded within our Lemurian timelines, and this temple is here primarily for all of us to keep returning back to, so that we can completely dissolve all of this pain out of the field. Within this, as you stand within this place, let your energy now be aware of places at the top of your skull on the left-hand side. Become aware of your heart, front and back, your left lung, and all the way down to your left knee in the back of your left knee. Become aware of the energy within your pineal gland. Now follow a trail of energy that moves from the left side of your neck and down your lymphatic area, so it's down the side of your neck and into your clavicle. Now move to the back. It's the rear of your left thigh and buttocks. Follow that line down and let it keep going. Now become aware of the point above your shoulder, and on the left side of your shoulder blade. And then the last place that you're going to be bringing your awareness is into the aorta artery. It's the place where you would feel your heart beating on the side of your neck on the left-hand side. And as we say a prayer in this moon temple, that we call upon the guardian host to be present and be aware of us. We acknowledge all of the temple guides and priestesses that are here at this moment to hold this sacred space, and that within this moment we highlight all of these Jehovian seals that have been placed upon our axitonial line of the 7th line. That in this moment we understand that these seals have been placed upon our body, designated to drag us down into false grid lines of the earth, that each of these seals has been attuning our body in order to acclimate our energy and our ascension to false pylons and false crystalline structures upon the earth. We understand within this moment that each of these seals is creating a death seal within our body, and that the longer that they are in our body, the more our body deteriorates, because it cannot handle the ascension codes that are coming through the accelerated energies that are coming from the aurora suns That in this moment, as we highlight all of these vibrations within these J seals, we call to all of the divine priestesses of the Moon Temple with so much love. We are ready to surrender being the victim, being slowed down. We are ready to surrender all of the places of regret, shame, blocking ourselves, repressing ourselves in any way, shape, or form that has been creating distortion or blockages within our memories, our timelines, or our mind. We are ready to remove all of these from any ways in which they have been held through artificial moon-chained bindings. We are here now standing within our sovereignty, and we claim our sovereignty within this space as we claim liberation for our heart, our mind, our soul. We claim sovereignty for all of our Tree of Life template. We claim sovereignty for all upon the earth who choose to reclaim their sovereignty. With so much love, we ask of all of the divine guardians within this space to please grab all of these hooks and seals that have been placed within our body and pull them from us now. As you take a deep breath, you are going to find that it's as though each of these are connected, almost like fish hooks into different places within the body, that each of these has been playing on a very specific node point within your body that has been disrupting the correct signals for the stargates during these ascension cycles. And you can sense all of these loving divine beings that are grabbing, almost like pulling them all out like a rope, and they're all tied together. And you begin to feel them pulling up all the way out of your left side. And it's as though they're just reeling them in, as though they would be reeling in a fishing line, and removing them all the way out of your template. And that as they continue to remove all of these energies, just allow this beautiful vibration of the moon to bless you and shine upon you. Your true memories, your true Akashic library, your higher mind memories are having the permission to come back online within you. And the last thing that we are going to offer to be removed within this space is going to be any forced breeder harnesses, any breeder implants around our pelvic region, around any of the reproductive places, any places that there are any holographic inserts, or any holographic beings, extraterrestrial beings, or interdimensional beings that have been piggybacking on our energy system and creating hybrid races from our energy bodies in our field. That in this moment we are aligning ourselves to the Christ frequency, and we say that we do not consent to anything that is not in alignment with eternal light. And through the consent and the declaration of your higher self, just say, pull them all from me now. And so it is. As you feel yourself fully nurtured and embraced within this place, allow that lunar light to just shine through you as you feel that emerald fountain of Divine Mother's love beginning to pour out of your heart and to fill up all of the places that are now free of any distortions. And just let yourself acknowledge, I am whole and I am complete. And this is my natural state. And as you begin to notice that your body feels so much stronger, empowered, the strength pouring through you, Nothing blocking or inhibiting the light flow through your body. You open your eyes and you see that your guides are just gently waiting for you for when you're ready. And when you're ready, just step out of that beam of the moon and find yourself walking out of this immaculate temple. And as they now read your energy frequencies, they are smiling and acknowledging what a tremendous job you have done, letting go of so much that was keeping you burdened in the past. They are celebrating how far you have already come through this journey, and they have one more temple that they want to take you to, a very revered and special temple. And they lead you quite a ways away to a very high vibrational place within this Lemurian place. The place, this temple, is crystalline in nature. It seems that when you look up, it has no end. The light that it emanates comes from a celestial realm that feels from beyond this world, and they smile because they say to you, you are correct. This is the Pleiadian Lemurian temple. And as we began to emerge in this Pleiadian Lemurian temple, this is the place of ultimate transformation. This is the place where all battles are settled. Here, we clear all the places that we were ever separated from our knowledge, from our sexuality, our spirituality, or the higher aspect of our Christ itself. This place transforms all places that we have struggled with polarity, duality, or the struggle with evil. As you enter in, you find this massive blazing flame. It is the violet flame. It has such an alluring presence to it that it's almost as though you are in a trance, and it pulls you right into it, and you find yourself standing right in the middle of this flame. It's as though no thoughts needed. Your heart knows exactly what you need. You are invited to become one with this flame. It is soft, yet it is fast. And it begins to move through all of your body. It begins to move through your lungs. As you breathe it in, it begins to move through your blood as it courses through you, and it begins to move through your DNA. And you find it lighting up like a symphony into your DNA. The light language begins to move through you, and it begins to pour through your DNA all the way through all 12 layers of your tree of life, moving through all of your bodies in your 15-dimensional bodies. And within this, you become larger than the planet, larger than the cosmos, as you begin to find yourself connected again to your eternal nature. All of the Pleiadians begin to circle around you. They invite you as they begin to sing and hum and chant. A gentle sway, they are doing hand movements and mudras as they begin to elevate and circulate the energy within this temple. It becomes so palatable that it feels as though the violet flame is everywhere. It's around you, it's inside of you. It is all that is. And within this state of consciousness, you feel the flame is conscious and it's communicating with you. And it's offering you in this moment. It's offering you the gift of the violet flame to burn away all of your burdens. To burn away all of the places that you may have ever been burdened. All of the places that you have ever felt as though you had to struggle or fight against evil, challenged, constantly on guard, feeling struggles. All the places that you've ever felt separated, lost, or alone. It offers you something new in your awareness, and it begins to highlight an energy around your crown. And in your etheric body, there is a crown with 12 stars that circles around your head. And these are the 12 stars of Mary's crown. These stars have been hijacked. They are stars that have been hijacked after the fall of Lemuria. These are stars that were hijacked that began to put crucifixion seals within us. Burdens. It is the burdens of women, the burdens of suffering, the burdens of birth and pain. It is all of the burdens of handling ourselves in this reality, the dealing with predators, feeling as though we have to be on high alert and protective of our offspring. These are the places that we have had to protect ourselves from imposters, reptilians, narcissists, and those that would reverse the sacred architecture of our divine blueprint and template. These are all the places that we have had battles with red dragons, with wars, with anger, with hatred, with revenge, or any deep-seated hatred that has ever been projected to you. These are all of the places where you have been inundated and crowded with energy of survival, of oppression of the divine feminine, and that each of these places that have put us into fight, flight, triggers, reaction, have created a thorn of crowns that have created a way that has blocked our pineal gland. And this crown of thorns has been around our head, blocking our pineal gland. And the invitation in this moment is to begin to, one by one, breathe the violet flame into each of the 12 stars around your head. And as you do, one by one, as you purify it with the transmutation energy of the violet flame, all of the realms of suffering, battles, being on defense, working hard, all of the wounds of the divine feminine begin to just burn away with the purification of the violet flame. And that star begins to move up, and it begins to circle around your soul star. Your soul star being in the middle as the 13th star. So as you begin to move the violet flame, you purify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Notice the clarity around your head because all of the 12 stars have moved up around your soul star now, reuniting as the 13 sacred stars. And let the violet flame burn in your third eye, awakening your third eye. As it begins to expand out, it begins to clear out any destructive distortions within, your head, the backs of your ears, the sides of your neck, the back of your cerebellum, the top of your crown. And as you just let it begin to move through, breathe deeply and let the violet flame cleanse and burn away all that you have been holding and feeling. You are free. You are free. You are free. They invite you to take the violet flames and embed them on the soles of your feet, the chakras of your feet, the soles of your feet. They invite you to take the violet flame with you. Let it send streams of transformational flames up your legs, up your torso, through your chakras, through your axitonial lines, through your meridians, through your horizontal bodies, down your arms and your fingertips, through your throat, your head. Let it push through your bloodstream, your breath, your DNA, as it allows you to continuously merge the new light language that is singing and speaking through you. But they have an ask of you, and they say, we gift you this violet flame that you will take it and carry it with you in the soles of your feet. We ask that you take these violet flames as a blessing to the rest of the world. That wherever you travel, wherever you walk, wherever you ground, wherever you bless the earth, that you may take this violet flame as the transmutation energy to bless all that are seeking to remember and to return back home. We ask that you take this flame and be the transformation and the transmutation for all sentient beings that are awakening and returning home. You are ever so loved and you are ever so venerated. And you are always welcome to return here again to any of these temples in order to rejuvenate, to receive love or nurturing, because you are always welcome to come home. As that voice rings around you and you feel that message within your heart, if there is anything that you would like to say to the Pleiadians within this temple, now is such a special time to let your heart speak that message. And if there's any last things that they want you to know, what is the most important thing that you need to know right now? As you lock that into your heart, you feel the energy of the violet flame beginning to let you go a little bit, and it feels like you're able to now step down, and you notice your guides that have been leading you on this journey are right behind you. They are so proud of you for the courage that you have had to take this journey. And they lead you out of this temple and back to where they met you at first, where you find your pod of dolphins that has been sitting there waiting for you, swimming there, just waiting for you. Notice what they notice in you that is different. Notice what you notice in yourself that feels different. And as you allow yourself to swim out of that sacred space. You find yourself moving back through the depths of the womb of Mother, and you begin to feel the pressures of the ocean getting lighter and lighter as you begin to see lighter blues, lighter colors, more fish. You begin to feel the energy of the land mass that now sticks out around the ancient Lemurian places, the ancient Lemurian temples and sacred lands. And you find yourself walking now upon the beach. But it feels different now because you can feel the violet flames underneath your feet. And what is your heart guiding you to be with this violet flame? What is it guiding you to share, to emanate? What is the intention or the dream emanating out from your heart? And you might even notice that there is excitement to take this as far and wide as you can, to share this immaculate love with the world. And gently find yourself traveling back into your body, where you are now, wherever you are sitting or laying, and lock in again your awareness of that violet flame and why it's so important for you to be right where you are right now. And with so much love, allowing yourself to just know that you are loved, you are nurtured, you are so supported and taken care of. Everything that you need to support you to be this love is already all around you and inside of you. As you smile, you may place your hands over your heart and acknowledge that beautiful fountain of that emerald heart of Mother pouring through you. And so it is.